Welcome to Piano Video Lessons Year 1, Unit 3, Lesson 9. This is video number 41 on YouTube, and today we're going to be learning to play Big Ben's Bells. But first we're going to learn about the interval of a fifth. So when we learned about fourths, we learned that they were harmonic and melodic intervals, and this page makes that crystal clear. So when we play the interval of a fifth, let's just see here. We need 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, moving up and away from each other, and I can erase the middle 3. So I started on a line, I can erase the space, that would be a second, I can erase the line, that would be a third, I can erase the space, which would be a fourth, and I'm left with this note here, which is a fifth above the note I started with. So this is now a fifth, and you can see it's a line. It skips a line and it ends up on another line. So this is the interval of a fifth. And this one is melodic because it's like a melody, one note played at a time. We can also write this fifth stacked up on top of each other with that note still missing, that little line in between skipped over, and this one would be a harmonic fifth. Harmonic means played at the same time. So in this case, we went from line to line. Now, what if we started on a space? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see we started on a space, and if we skip over these 3 notes in the middle, we're going to end up back in another space. So a fifth can look like a space to a space, or it can look like a line to a line, just like this. So here we have a melodic fifth moving from space to space, and here we have a harmonic fifth played at the same time from space to space, and in this case skipping over this space and skipping over that space. So let's turn to our workbook now and let's have a look at the lesson. So when we play a fifth, we move from a line to a line or from a space to a space, and here they are shown in the music. You can see here it's 2 line notes skipping over a line in the middle, 2 space notes skipping over a space in the middle, 2 line notes skipping over a line, 2 space notes skipping over a space. Here we see the melodic version, and you can see again it skips right over this line, and here's 2 space notes, it skips right over that space. So line, skip a line, line, space, skip a space, space. So now the exercise we're going to do, it asks us to name each interval and also write the right hand fingerings. It says use finger 1 as the first finger for ascending intervals, and use finger 5 as the first finger for descending intervals. So if intervals are ascending, they're going up, we'll start with finger 1. If they're descending, they're going down, we'll start with finger 5. So let's see what this means now. It says, it shows the example here of a line to a line without skipping any lines is a third. And it's starting with finger 1, going up to finger 3. So looking at these intervals here, they're all going up. So in every case, the instructions say to start with finger 1. So after each bar line, I've written finger 1 on the starting note. And then it asks you, what is that interval? So here I have line, skip a line, line. Well, that's the same as this, line, skip a line, line. So that is going to be a fifth. So if I started with finger 1 and I'm playing a fifth, I'm going to end with finger 5. And I didn't actually tell you that yet, but as a fourth you have 2 choices. You could play 4 and you could play 2 and 5, or you could play 4 and 1. But with a fifth, you really only have one choice, which is to play fingers 1 and 5. All right, next we have a line note followed by a space note. And they're not touching, so what interval is that? It's a fourth. So if we start on 1, we'll finish with 4. Next, line to a space, and they're neighboring. So that is a second, moving from 1 to finger 2. Okay, from this space we're to another space. Did we skip a space? We did not. This is not a fifth. It's a third. So from 1 up to finger 3. All right, next starts with 1, goes from line to space. Is it a neighbor? Yes, it is. So that is a second. Starting on 1, going to 2. Next line. All of these intervals, down, down, up, down, down. Okay, so all of the ones going down, we're going to start with a 5. So let's do this first one. 5 on a line going to a space. Are they neighbors? Yes, they are. That's a second. And from 5 going down a second will take us to finger number 4. Now we're going to start with 5 because we're going down, and it's going from line to line. Does it skip a line? Yes, it does. Is it a fifth or is it a third? It's a fifth. So if we started on 5, we went down a fifth, we'll end on 1. Okay, this is going to go up, so we're going to start with finger 1 because ascending intervals we should start with 1. So it's going from space to line. Is it a neighbor? Yes, it is. It's a second. So from 1, we go up a second to 2. Here we're going up again, so we're going to start with finger 1. So we have a line going to a space. Are they neighbors? Yes, they are. That's a second. So from 1 to 2. Here we're going down, and we've been asked to start with 5 in this exercise. We don't always have to, but that's what this drill says to do. Here we're going from space to line. Is that a neighbor? It is not a neighbor. It's bigger than a neighbor. It skips a line and a space. It's a fourth. So what is the fingering pattern? 5 to what? 2. Okay, so I just lost audio for a second here. My computer is recording my audio and for some reason it wasn't plugged in, so it ran out of battery, and I'm not sure if we missed any of this, but it looks pretty good, so I'm going to keep going. So here we had 5 on a line, and we have line to line. So these two notes, is it a skip or is it a fifth? It doesn't skip any lines, so that makes it a skip. So that's going to be a third. And going down from 5, we're going to skip a finger, so that's going to take us to finger 3. Keep on going. All right, so going up, let's start with 1. Up space to space, that's a third. So from 1 to 3. Here we have line to line. Going down, we'll start with 5. It skips a line. Is that a third or a fifth? It's a fifth. So from 5 down to 1. Here we're going down, so we're going to start with 5. Space to line. Is that a second? Yes, it is. 5, second down, takes us to 4. Here we're going up, so start with 1. Space to line. Is that a second? Too big. It's a fourth. So from 1, we'll go up to 4. Here we're going down, so we're going to start with 5. And we're going from space to line. Is that a second? Yes, it is. And from 5 going down a second, goes to 4. And here we're going up, so we'll start with 1. Line to line. It's a third. 1 up a third to 3. Last line. So here we're going down, so we'll start with 5. You're going from space to space, skipping a space. That makes it a fifth. And from 5 skips down to 1. Now here we have going down, so we'll start with 5. Space to line. That's a second. So moving from 5 down a second takes us to 4. And here we're going up, so we're going to start with 1. Space to line. That's a second. So 1 second up to 2. Here we have space to space, going up, a third, from 1 to 3. Here we have a line going down, line to space. Is that a second? Too big. It's a fourth. So the pair that goes with 5 is 2. And last one, we're going down, so we're going to start with 5. It goes from line to line. It skips a line, so it's a fifth. And 5 takes us to 1. Phew. Okay, we did it. Now we get to learn the piece of music called Big Ben's Bells. This is the Westminster Abbey chimes that you would hear if you were in England. All right, and let's see. The left hand has a fifth here right off the bat, and then it plays just the top note G, and then another fifth, and another fifth. And here in the third measure, you can see that there's a quarter rest to hold time so that the left hand can play on beat 1, and the right hand will then continue on beats 2 and 3. So let's have a look here. Let's play the left hand. 1, 2, 3. So this is G with C in the left hand, playing a fifth and holding for 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now looking at the right hand, we're going to start with 3 on a line. Then we have another line, skip to 1, and neighbor going up to 2. So it's going to go 3, 1, 2. Here we go. 3, 1, 2, G, 2, 3, left. And then we have D, neighbor, skip. So we're going to have D, neighbor, skip. And when we play the skip, we're back to playing the left hand fifth. So D, neighbor, skip, 2, 3. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, left, 2, 3, both, 2, 3. You might want to break that down by tapping it. So you would have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Trying it again, both hands. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, left, 2, 3, both, 2, 3. Let's look at the second line. If you compare the first two measures, the first measure of the first line to the first measure of the second line, you'll see that they are the same. And then we have a 3-beat note, and then we have another same measure with the rest, and ending with C. These two lines then are identical, so we now know both of them. And then we can look at this last line, and we notice that the right hand has whole rests for the entire line, and the left hand has 3-beat notes in each, and it's C each time. So we'll be keeping our finger 5 on that C. We're going to play it forte, and then mezzo forte, and then piano. So it's going to be forte, mezzo forte, and piano. All right, let's try the whole piece from the beginning. Here's a nice slow practicing tempo. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, left, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, forte, 2, 3, mezzo forte, 3, piano, 2, 3, off. All right, so that's Big Ben's Bells, and join me in Lesson 10, where we're going to learn to play Scarborough Fair. This piece is also in 3/4 time, and we're going to play a sharp as we learn this piece. We'll see you in the next lesson.